start introduction.
Okay, sure.
Yes, sir.
So, hi audience, thanks for watching this brief video. We have put 1 minute of effort. Our graphic designer, Lucero from Mexico, and she has put very good efforts in compiling this. And I think we are humbling putting this three-part series together. And the first start is starting that everything big takes time, and we have four experts on our screen. Jagdish ji is joining us in a while, but we have Milinji, Shefali ji, and Jagdish Khatri. He is going to join, as well as Swapna ji. So, with these four experts, I'm going to discuss their point of view about grit, cultivating grit, and how we can provide these vital inputs to our young generation as well as their parents, professors, and professionals, those who are in the business of nurturing grit in the next generation. So, as we were discussing cephalogy, let me bring you on a center of the screen. So, as you are traveling and you were telling that you are very much passionate about this topic. So, if you can, brief about your passion, and passion almost is equal to grit.
Absolutely, it is. Passion is actually almost equal to grit. We are all confused. There is a silly myth, I must say, that people think that grit comes only for things when you have to do big things in life, but that's not true. Grit comes in small things of life. It is actually like something like a habit formation. Let me just give a very small example. I am a storyteller, so I have to share a story. I promised Darshan ji that I am going to be here live with him at 9 o'clock. Suddenly, something came up and I had to travel. But that didn't deter me that I will not do this program. If there is a will, there is a way. So I think grit should come. These are like small things, like small pennies that you collect over a period of time. It happens daily. It happens because you're conscious about it. It happens because you make an effort. The biggest example that I can give in this case is our sports people. You know, they are daily into the thing of practicing. They don't think, okay, fine, I'm not feeling today, or the weather is not good, and maybe tomorrow. No. There are times they are tired. There are times when they feel ki maybe we can eat this extra sweet, but they don't, because there is a certain amount of grit and determination, and because that moves them forward and makes them achieve what they want to achieve. Because at the end of the day, their vision is very clear.
Yeah, yeah, very well said, Shefaliji. And even we have mentioned that we need to appreciate the doers as good as we are appreciating the achievers. In the
Absolutely.
family, we compare, yeah, that he has achieved 99 percentiles, or he has achieved, 100% or 99.9%. What you have done? He has done, at least he has appeared for a school or college, and then he has done 10 different things, a drawing or a mastered in an arts or something. So definitely, when a kid or a youngster is putting some efforts, I think we need to appreciate the doer in him. At the same time, let's hear the point of view of Milinji, and let me bring him in the center of the screen.
Sure. Sure. So, what I believe is that the only limits that really exist are the limits which are in our own mind. And therefore, grit is basically getting rid of all those limiting beliefs. So there's an example which I would like to give, which there's a very famous show. I think it's called England's Got Talent or something like that, for
Hmm.
which there was a person called Susan Boyle. Okay, Susan Boyle, which she sang for that. At that point in time when she appeared, she was 47 years old, and she was immensely overweight, and had never had any singing audition to her credit or anything like that. Yet she confidently went up to the stage, and she sang so beautifully that for 10 minutes she got a standing ovation. So for me, that is
The
something.
determination, the
Yeah,
grit.
that yeah yeah that truly signifies grit. And then such people, they become an example for the younger folks also. The small little kids, they participate in little champs and stuff like that. So why not, so that's the thing. Yeah.
Great. So I think with this, probably Shefaliji is having some problem in his video. Oh, now he sees back.
No,
I
no,
think
no. I have no problem. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So we have audience also joining with us on a various platform, and they support us. The kind of support we have got for both the platform, the Circle of Legends previously and the India Mexico, we have gone through a bumpy ride. Yeah, many people have joined with us many times. I felt good, bad, but surprisingly we are going to complete 1000 days and 100 days of being with India Mexico. So 1000 and almost, that's going to be a figure. And during this, we have connected with almost 5500 people in the Circle of Legends. Yes, the followers and all that are so many, like 19,000 plus. But in the smallest span of India Mexico, we have connected with 1,000 people in up to month of March, and we are targeting 1,000 more in month of April. So
Wow.
that kind of exponential growth which we are planning, and we do not want to just connect them for a message. We want to connect with action now. The Circle of Legion was message, communication, and that era, if we compare, was an era of giving information. And now this era is action, because at that time all webinars, information exchange, all that were connecting people. So we have four pillars. The connection part has already happened. Now we are cooperating with each other. Let's come together, cooperate. Then we will collaborate, and we will co-create. So that co-creation part is yet waiting for us. And our small little efforts like Julieta, like Lucero, they are teaching Sanskrit. Can you believe? Somebody who has learned Spanish throughout their life have learned Sanskrit, and they have now, she is now teaching. So learning
Wow.
and then teaching. So this kind of.
Darshanji, I'd like to add something right here. Like how
Mhm,
you mentioned your journey. It did not happen overnight. Rome
mhm,
was not built in a day.
correct.
People get very anxious these days. When I see youngsters, they're like, oh my God, they believe in instant gratification, that
Mhm,
instant Maggie kind of a feeling. But life doesn't work like that. You have to
mhm,
simmer things, you have to have patience. That's one virtue that we all must have. When you
correct.
started Circle of Legends, you did not think 100 steps ahead. It was
Mhm,
one step at a time. And
correct.
that is the beauty. When people go one step at a time, that is how grit works. You
Yes,
have to be dedicated. You have
yes.
to keep going slow. You
Correct.
remember last time I said as slowly as
As
possible.
possible, yes. Yes.
So
Yeah, and
I
Milinji,
think
I
it is
think
very
the
important.
consultants of your stature, advises about startups, and I read your lot of posts where
Hmm.
I can see your clear inclination towards motivating the people to be motivators, to be consultants, to be advisors. So, what normally you do to make people aware about their true potential?
Yeah. So here again, I would tie it up with grit. I would put it to a facet of grit which actually talks about patience. So I'll give you a small little story here. Okay, so this is to do with the marshmallow experiment. So in the early 60s in Stanford, Walter Mischel and his cohorts, they created a marshmallow experiment where they took small little children, all right? They took small little children and said, you can either have a marshmallow right away, or you can wait for 20 minutes. If you wait for 20 minutes without having that marshmallow, you'll get one more marshmallow.
Hmm.
So some of them chose to eat that right away, and some chose to wait for 20 minutes. Those who chose to wait for 20 minutes and these who ate it right away, they tracked their careers for a couple of decades, and they found that the children who were able to delay their gratification had much better careers. So this is the kind of example which I always give. And I tell all the entrepreneurs and all the startups that, meteors tend not to last. So don't look for, just shooting through that glass ceiling in the first year itself. It doesn't happen. Good things, they take time. I mean, just take the example of coffee. You compare instant coffee to,
Brewed, brewed
really
ones.
coffee that has been brewed, and you'll see the difference.
Correct. Agree, sir. On this one, even I was going to come with a greed which impacts the corporate world these days.
Hmm.
The youngsters are mainly engaged. One is in salary comparison and jumping
Hmm.
here to here to here, here. Yeah. And yes, they are getting also. That's no doubt about it. Certain are skillful. Certain are, willing to start startups.
Hmm.
Startup without plan, without guide, without mentor, without coach. And after an year or two, and the disaster is the bitcoins,
Hmm.
the instant wealth creation. They all want to become Elon Musk.
Yeah, yeah.
And they mask themselves in such a way that they can't even come out of depression for extended period of time.
True,
So
True.
true.
so as a elders, as those who are with experience, I think we need to have a strategy of saying no without saying no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How well
yeah. So
said. How well said.
Because
that
You
the
know,
moment we say no, they will create resistance.
but I heard about this long time back, and I must share it right
Mhm,
here. Do
mhm.
you love your children to say no to them? So sometimes it is important to
Wow,
say
very
no to
nice.
them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
you
Yes,
know it is important. A lot of times they don't know their goodness. Sometimes you have to guide them, push them in that direction. But overall, I always feel that it is the communication that matters the most. Unfortunately, we start to dictate children. That
Hmm.
doesn't work. You have to communicate, nudge them to think in their own fashion, and sometimes it will surprise you. Actually, kids, they really come up with great answers and great decisions on their own. But we have to create that kind of
culture.
a bond with each other.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Darshanji, I must tell you that when we are going for diving, right, even the expert divers, they never go alone. They always go with the buddy.
Hmm.
Mhm.
There are times I keep telling children, you want to cultivate a habit, or you want to dedicate a certain time to something. There are times you're going to slack, so you should have a buddy. Similarly, in corporates, you must have a mentor.
Agree. Yes.
It's very important. You would wonder, oh, why would we need a teacher? Why would we need a mentor? It's not like that. They are there to guide you. They can see something that you may not be able to see. They might
Correct.
be able to even nudge you,
Hmm.
and the most important thing is your mentor is not going to be judgmental about you.
True. And along with that, yeah, Milanji, you were telling something.
Since Shefali mentioned about mentoring, I was just thinking about reverse mentoring. So I think that there can be a synergy between the generations. Now, somebody who's a generation younger than me, they can mentor me with regard to technology. They
Technology.
can mentor me with regard to the new streams of thinking, and I can mentor them with regard to the various kinds of experiences I've had, so that they don't have to go through the pitfalls which I had to go through. So that kind of synergy.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Actually, the whole idea is hand holding each other. There are
Yes,
things that they can learn from us, and there are
Yeah,
so many things we can learn from them.
correct.
agree. And
And
Shivali,
you'll be surprised, Darshanji, that the kids are so happy to teach you something that you don't know. But what is important is you have to be honest and you have
honest.
to tell them that, listen, I don't know. You don't have to pretend. They get
Agree.
put off by pretense. So when you
Mhm.
honestly tell them, hey guys, help me, like I do it with my son all the time. I'm like, can you help me with this? He's so willing to help because I keep telling him, I said, okay, I'm your mother, I agree, but I need not know everything in this world.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I think simple acceptance is so beautiful. It makes the journey so easy for both parties.
Mhm. True. At the same time, Milanji has said about uh, mentoring, reverse mentoring. Shefaliji has said about parent-child mentoring or connect and friendship. We have developed a model called learning by sharing,
Wow. So,
co-mentoring. Yeah.
so tell us about it.
Yes. So in a co-mentoring, the from the day one, even in fact from 1996, I'm doing this.
Hmm.
The day when I have came out of college, uh, I have made it my mantra that
Okay.
whatever I learn, I would like to dump it to my friends without any expectation.
Hmm.
What people likes, rather than sharing it, they think that okay, if I share, people will become smarter than me. So rather than this, if we develop this abundance mentality, we will get that courage, and that courage is nothing but greed once again. That I have courage, I have a confidence in myself that I'm
Hmm.
not going to lose anything anytime if I give. And
Absolutely.
here,
Absolutely.
here we are discussing about knowledge. By
Correct.
giving knowledge, even I cannot get a smaller. By yes, it requires time.
Hmm.
So if we have a tools which can allow us to do this, and if we do it at a scale, a massive scale, I think it can create a huge impact in society.
Absolutely, absolutely. And sometimes it is the small things that make a huge difference. I'll tell you, just over the past few days, I have worked on a new concept which I came across with some of the top networking experts globally talked about is mastermind groups. So a
Mhm.
mastermind group is a very small group. It's
Mhm.
4 to 6 people, maximum 12 people. So
Mhm.
in different kinds of specializations, if you have different mastermind groups, you're able to contribute so much to each other's growth that it's absolutely phenomenal. It's an illusion to think you're doing great networking, you're attending an event which has 200 people, which has 150 people and all.
Not possible.
Actually, nothing happens over there.
Not possible. Yeah.
It's only in the tiny groups where 10, 12 people are there. That is where the real networking happens.
Correct. Correct.
Very
Agree.
well said. That's so
Agree.
true.
So I
That is
don't
so
need,
true.
19,000 followers. Neither I can connect with 19,000 followers. But
Ah,
yes, 19,000 followers can keep me connected to Milinji or Shefaliji directly or indirectly by conveying my message. So I just need that connections or a neural network to connect with other. But I need to be connected with selective few, those who resonates with my frequency, those who resonates not exactly of my kind of frequency, resonates with my frequency and thinks
Absolutely.
something on a same wavelength, not exactly similar wavelength, so we can contribute, we can bring something bigger. And as we have said, yeah, yeah, as we have said, we want to co-create. We just do not now want to stop at collaborate.
Right.
We want to create, and we want to create substantial wealth. Substantial
You know,
wealth.
Darshanji, I want to add something to what you just said. It was a brilliant thing that you said. You know, it's like, unfortunately, the lives of the younger generation is all about likes. How many likes have they got? How many followers do they have? But actually, that's far from the real life. Even if you are able to influence two people in reality, in real, that's what really counts, if you really ask me. You know, people think that, oh, if we have large number of followers, that is another reason of a lot of depression that's happening to children these days.
Mhm. Yes, means my Instagram post has not been liked.
Yes, it's a problem. It's a
Mhm.
problem. There has to be a constant check on this one, because we don't realize that this is some kind of a hole that they keep getting into, and that it is far fetched from the reality of the world. You know,
Agree.
and I think it's very important to tell them to go slow, as I said earlier, because when you go slow, and when you're not in a rush, most importantly you enjoy the journey of life, and you are more when you're more conscious, you end up also looking at others, not just at your own self and being selfish.
Agree. So now the next journey, I think we have gone through two-third of our conversation. 10 minutes are left into the conversation. So the one thing which comes to mind is the great achievers. When we say that great achievers never been very good at academics, yeah, means not doing good should not be a qualification to become a great manager or a great businessman, yeah, or else being from a poor background is not a qualification or a prerequisite to become a successful CEO. Yeah, otherwise all the poors may have
True.
become CEO. But
Yeah.
definitely the one adversity, difficulties in the life of person brings out that grit, that determination, that passion, that or she would like to overcome all the obstacles. So if we read through a great people's journey, and I think there is no one stopping us, but we do not like to read, rather we would like to go through the episodes and episodes of Netflix. So this is again a problem. So as I have said, learning by sharing, that includes learning co-watching, and this is also one more thing I have started is on Zoom or on Teams. We start watching co-watching an episode together, and then we derive minutes of meeting kind of output, and we provide that positive strokes to each other. But these all things are happening at very small micro groups, and these
That's
macro
a
groups,
good thing. That's a very good thing. I
yeah,
think that's like having a buddy, right? That's like
yes,
having a
that's
buddy
like
when
having
you
a
get
buddy. Yeah,
together and you are like inspiring each other, poking each other, come, let's watch it, let's discuss. Because out of
yes,
discussions, we always say that great minds discuss, you
yes,
know. I mean, that's very important, because out of a discussion something nice will come out. Not
correct,
necessarily, and we
correct.
all learn from each other. So I
So,
think that's a great thing that you're doing, Darshanji. Absolutely
so
brilliant.
yeah, so co-reading, co-watching, discussing, and then co-creating. So this is also one of the thing. And for youngsters, suppose if they are not in position of creating money, even though there are so many avenues which I can share with them. But if they are not money focused, they at least can have skills which then can make them employable,
Yeah, yeah,
which can
definitely.
make them resilient. So the another name of grit is resilience. Yeah. And these days, resilience is also one of the key thing which is required. That you will get failure. Failure is,
Of course,
inevitable. Yeah.
it's inevitable. In fact, if you don't fail, that is the biggest failure.
Yes.
It's very
So
important to fail.
correct. So today even I have, yes, Milinji, you were also telling something about failure.
What I was no, we were talking about resilience. So I just wanted to say that I had done one program where we had gone beyond resilience, and we went into a concept called anti-fragile. So
Uh-huh.
resilience is when you're able to cope with something. Anti-fragile is when you actually thrive on adversity. So the worse the situation gets, the more you're driven. So I'm
More endurance you get. More endurance you get. Okay. Exactly true. So now about resilience also, uh, when it goes tough, many students enter into depression, anxiety, and all that. And who better than me knows all the phase? Yeah, I have
Mhm.
gone through. I've
Okay.
been, a sufferer of a severe ups and downs called bipolar disorder, and I have observed how stressful it is, how helpless you feel, and to come through that helplessness, what all things required. And probably God has given me this just to become empathetic with others. Yeah. God has
Uh,
given me this blessing, say that, okay, you try to understand others without prejudgment.
oh,
Because
wonderful.
because if you never had have seen a lion, you will not think what lion is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I have
Absolutely,
seen things
absolutely.
happening in me. That's why I can empathize with others that yes, this is natural. A person just feeling like fish out of water is
Yes,
natural because he's fish out of water. He's not
true.
making a drama or tantrum.
No, no,
Okay.
definitely
So,
not.
so
Yes, definitely not.
So
So, as a parents, as a guardians, as a mentors, I think we need to have a specialized skills. We need to learn something. We do not need to judge or force our feelings, our achievements on our kids. That I can do it. Why can't you do it?
True.
If that person can do it, why can't you do it? Bring resilience in you. That's that's not
Darshanji, there is this one liner I'd like to add, for all the parents watching us, for all the people who are watching us. हमारे बच्चे जो होते हैं वो हमारे जन्म के साथी होते हैं, कर्म के नहीं. Our thought line is very limited to our own time frame. They are much beyond that, much beyond that. So I think what we really need to give them is wings for them to fly, and give them that
wow,
comfort that whatever you
wow.
do, we are going to love you irrespective of whatever it is. There are brownies at home and coffee is brimming. Whenever you come, you are welcome.
That's a very
true.
powerful thought. Very powerful thought, Shivani.
Unconditional love.
True, sir. So I think
Thank you, sir. Thank you
last but
so
not
much.
least, yeah, last but not least, we have 2 minutes uh, before we start wrapping up with both of you. The last is time. Once again, we have started with the time that everything takes its own time. Grit also will take time, but we need to start. We need to have help. We need to extend help. So we are looking for help from those who are listening to us and those who are experts from your circle also, Milinji, Shefaliji. So on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
note, I would like you to wrap up in 30 seconds each your inputs, and we can close this closing remarks.
Yeah, yeah. So my coordinates are available with Darshan ji. So please feel free to get them from him, and whatever I can do to help people in terms of inspiring them, in motivating them, in connecting to people, who can do something good for them. I'm more than willing to do at any point in time. Yeah,
Thank you, Milinji, and definitely we are co-posting on each other's, or putting remark on each other's post on LinkedIn.
yeah,
So
yeah.
definitely we will continue doing it, and I'll share your this one's
Sure.
details on a separate note.
Sure.
Shefaliji, your closing remarks.
Well, my closing remarks would be just love, laugh, and live. And at the end of the day, when we started about speaking about grit. I think let's start to create small habits that makes a positive difference in our lives. Habits that matter, habits that will actually make sure that whatever vision you have is going to help you achieve it. That's it. And of course, anytime you need me, you know exactly where to get in touch. I'm on Storylines by Shifali Chopra, And of course, Darshan ji is always there to tell you where I am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I think we have a unique hashtag which is available to everyone, that is hashtag India Mexico. Uh, why India and Mexico? Because I live in Mexico. I breathe, drink, and enjoy in Mexico. I'm born and brought up in India, and I want to connect both the cultures as well as those who are interested in both the cultures. So ideally, it covers the complete world. But we are starting with a small piece, a piece of cake at a time. We do not want to eat the whole pizza, but we are going to cover the world under the umbrella of the Circle of Legends. Let's wait for the second episode. We will come with new guests, those who are going to provide us insights about the next topic on the grid. Thanks a lot for joining, and we are
Thank you,
saying
sir.
signing
Thank
off.
you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much. Bye.